What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Now, as we remembered from the last game, we encountered a bit of a snag, and so we were killed in the night. Taking too long to build the base, and this is probably not probably a futile effort, but we're gonna try to get it back. It's pretty far away, but we're going to try to get back our items. I'm not even completely sure this is the right way, but I think that we should try this direction. I don't think we could see it at night, but I'm hoping this is going to reveal the shore. I do see some formations on the land that hopefully means that this is gonna provide a we can see some interesting sea life though while we do it. Some squid. But we're gonna give it a shot. I mean, we did have some, we found the items from an abandoned nether portal, so we're gonna try to see if we can get it back. Now, if we do, probably gonna just at that point do an emergency safety measure of just digging down underground if we manage to get back our stuff. So if you die, we didn't have a new spawn point, so we spawned at the beginning of where the game started. And so when it was killed, all the stuff dropped that was there for a temporary period of time. But I'm not exactly sure where it is, and I know it's pretty far away. So we're gonna try to get back to it. Besides, I mean, we're almost waiting out the night anyways, because to try to build up a base, we're gonna have to wait till the daytime anyways. So while we're waiting, might as well go ahead and try. Now, I was pretty far out. I think this is right though. I remember it being pretty far. So we're going to try to make our way to where we were killed by a zombie. Let's see. And there's some zombies over there. And creeper, all those mobs waiting for us. I believe this is where we were. I'm not even 100% sure, but we're going to try. And if we're unsuccessful, then hopefully we'll just try to survive. And if I were to see the abandoned nether portal, that would be positive. I would know that it was in the right place, at least. We've got all sorts of mobs around here. Hopefully if we move fast enough, we can evade them. But, like I said, it's possible we won't. And we're running, which is gonna expend our hunger, but that's not really the chief of our concerns right now. Now, a lot of this is not familiar, honestly. I'm not super optimistic about finding this. This just does not feel, familiar. So I'm not really sure if this is what we're gonna, but that kind of does, actually, if you ask me. But then again, maybe not. So I'm not being very optimistic here. So I do think I'm about ready to. But I do like this area because there is an exposed mine, or not a mine, but a cave. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig a hole. This is a temporary measure. Oh, he fell in there with us. We're gonna try to kill the skeleton that decided to chase us into the hole. Not too tough though. We're just hitting him with our bare hands. He's trying to shoot at us from the same block. So we picked up a bone from the skeleton, and that's all. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wait and we can talk about what we're gonna do. Now there's ample, so we're gonna give up on finding our stuff. It was just a little too far out, a little too difficult to find. So I'm not very familiar with this area at all. But we're waiting for the daytime to come on, which is looks like it is starting to happen. You can see the sky changing. What that's going to do is it will slowly kill off the mobs so that we can build a house, and maybe we'll see some sheep reappear. But the main thing is, I mean, that's really good to try to either not die or get a bed to set the spawn point is over here instead, because I think this is a little better. I do think that there's a little more chance for wildlife around here, which is what we definitely really need. But we're going to start over from where we were last time, just get some wood, try to build a house. This does look like an area we're going to find livestock maybe in the day, we'll see. But we're starting to get daytime. You can see the sky just slowly transitioning to that lighter color. Interesting how you can see it come through in waves. Okay, let's give it a shot here. I mean, we may end up coming out to some mobs, but we'll try to be careful. Just gonna see what we have around. Oh, yep, we surely do. Whoop, 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 whoop. Immediately, once again, finding many mobs there. We're gonna, oh, I don't know if that's gonna work. Yep, we just fell and died again. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so we keep running into obstacles, so we're running into hurdles here. And mostly I'm just trying to find an area. I think that was a good area just because it felt like there would be livestock that would appear, but I'm not even certain about that. Well, we're gonna do it again. Okay. See, those are interesting mines, or deep caves that we can mine, but I think the immediate concern is, can we find livestock? Because as we can see, we want to be able to have a spot we can spawn from, and I'm not really certain that this is going to be it. So we're going to go back across where we just were and cross this larger ocean. And I would say the main goal for immediate goal is to see if we can find livestock, because we're going to have to be able to, if we're going to want to be able to create a house and a bed and all of that, we're going to have to. I was interested in what I see under here. There's some kind of structure, it looks like, underneath the water. Don't want to die from being underwater too long, but I wonder what that is. That's interesting. Some sort of underwater structure. I'm not even sure what that is, but it looks pretty cool. Interesting, some sort of underwater structure. Okay. Well, either way, let's go ahead and see if we can't find that. Let's see if we can't find the land that we found last time. Actually, I don't even think this is the same, because the third coordinate there in the position is very different, so we're certainly not in the same place. That's why it was very difficult to find our items. But I do see some land on the horizon, so we're just going to, I think we're going to proceed over here to see what we find, because we've already made it this far. Well, I don't know how promising it looks. It looks like a lot of peaks. Kind of looking for general livestock type area, but at this point we might as well reach whatever land we find. Although this does look a little... We're also in the coordinates getting closer to 0, so I think maybe that could be promising. I'm not sure, but...
this does look like an interesting area. This is all icy, but I think we'll just have to go through it. Maybe get to something else. Maybe we'll try to just kind of get as close to 0 as we possibly can. Maybe that'll be promising. But this is the best we're going to do. We're this far out now, so... This is a glacial area for sure. We're going to kind of try to go closer to zero coordinates though on the x and the first and last, the x and z coordinates. So let's go this way because we're pretty close to the x at 0. So, all right. I'm going to try to find somewhere we can get on to find some land here. And as this is a long swim here. Certainly a long swim. But we're getting closer. I think that this looks like there's hopefully somewhere to get out of the water here. You need a block that's low to the ground that you can get onto, but I'm not sure if, I think this should fit the bill. I don't know if there's somewhere to get onto land other than that. We may have to just dig around to get to... Boy, it's cold outside and this looks cold to me. But, so that matches. Alright, let's see, maybe we can... Oh, we got in the water. Let's try to find a way. Now, the problem is we've spent a lot of daytime here, I think, trying to get to this, so we're still not in any dependable land, but we'll keep moving. See if we can find land here. Alright, looks like maybe we're in a little bit more dependable land here. We're going to find somewhere we can get out of the water. Alright, let's see. May have to try to just dig out of here, meaning if I can... Oh. So just try to stay afloat while I eat these blocks. Maybe just kind of try to break my way out of here because we're just needing to get to land at this point. Let's break our way out of the ice. It's a lot of it, but fortunately it's pretty easy to break. So let's just kind of tunnel our way, hopefully to more land. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. This is not promising. This is. We're not in a very, does not seem like a good place to try to. So like I said, we'll at least maybe, if nothing else, we will try to get to about 0 coordinates and see what that does. And that z coordinate's what I'm mostly focused on. And if nothing, then we'll just, if that doesn't do anything, then maybe we'll start over again. This is a long start. It's not usually this much of a difficult time getting started. And remember that Matt only kind of gets Minecraft, so. It appeared that this was a decent biome, meaning what type of land you're going to start in. And where you have trees and livestock and these kind of things, but this did not seem to be the case here. But so I think what I'm just going for at this point is, like I said, let's just try to get to 0 and see if that does anything. All right, we're down to the hundreds, so we're in a very icy area here. A lot of swampy area, now we're in a little really icy area. None of this is good for finding the essentials like trees and livestock, but we're seeing a lot of interesting areas that are also part of Minecraft, so there is that. And And I mean, theoretically, if there was some decent area at 0, I don't think it appears that we're coming up on anything like that, but it'd be a good place to start. It'd be easy to remember to set up a base at those coordinates. So that is something we can address, is that I do like to put the coordinates on. That is an option, and we did put the coordinates on. So that is a good way to keep track of where you are in Minecraft. So if you set up a base, or if you want to explore and you want to make sure you can get back to your base, you can always try to write down the coordinates, remember the coordinates. Now we're almost at 0, and at the very least it looks like we'll be on a nice let's go this direction because we're almost at the both. Okay, so at least we'll be on some sort of a shelf, and there is a polar bear waiting for us at approximately 0, but nothing else in terms of real land, except, I mean, we are kind of getting closer to real land here. But hello, polar bear. Oh, he's going after us. Let's maybe get out of here, or maybe he'll okay, well, this feels like it's getting a little more promising. 0 didn't really do anything for us, but this is getting more land-ish. So at least places that you can walk instead of having to swim everywhere. Trying to see if there's any evidence that we're going to find. Because we are kind of getting a little bit closer to... I'm sure the nighttime is coming on pretty soon. We've been going pretty long. Made it through about a night and a day in this episode. Seeing if we see maybe some land here. Maybe promising. Alright, we do see some dirt, so maybe that is the start of some land. So let's keep going this direction, see what happens, see if we can maybe at least get back to some kind of land here. It's not looking super promising right now, but we're gonna just keep on keeping on here. Still not seeing much. Whew, well, some of that look okay, maybe not. I don't know. At least looks we're still on land though. Let's just keep starting to see some mobs spawn. So maybe at this point, if we found a way to, if we're gonna protect it all, although I don't know how much we can be protected in here, because I don't know if we can dig down or not. I guess we can. Let's see if we can dig down one more. Okay, so we are able to dig down a couple. So at least we are protected for the night. Not a lot to speak of here. We'll see where we get next time, but I think that'll be it for this episode.